Long hair. This is an early 70s poem back in the United States. Thinking in part of the politics of long hair as of those days. So this is in two parts. Part one, hunting season. Once every year, deer catch human beings. They do various things which irresistibly draw men near them. Each one selects a certain man. The deer shoots the man, who is then compelled to skin it and carry its meat home and eat it. Then the deer is inside the man. He waits and hides in there, but the man doesn't know it. When enough deer have occupied enough men, they will strike all at once. The men who don't have deer in them will also be taken by surprise. Everything will change some. This is called takeover from inside. Part two, deer trails. Deer trails run on the side hills, cross-county access roads, dirt ruts to bone-white board house ranches, tumbled down, waist-high through manzanita, through sticky, prickly, crackling, gold-dry summer grass. Deer trails lead to water, lead sidewise all ways, narrowing down to one best path, then split and fade away to nowhere. Deer trails slide under freeways, slip into cities, swing back and forth in crops and orchards, run up the sides of schools. Deer spoor and crisscross dusty tracks are in the house and coming out the walls, and deer bound through our hair. Turtle Island came out in 1974, and I had returned to the United States by this time and had gotten engaged in particularly in environmental political work and cultural work here. And these poems reflect some of that. But that's not the only thing. Let's see what we got here. Why log truck drivers rise earlier than students of Zen. And Zen students do get up pretty early, you know. But loggers get up earlier. Especially in the summer season. In the high seat, before dawn dark, the polished hubs gleam, and the shiny diesel stack warms and flutters up the Tyler Road grade to the logging on Poor Man Creek. 30 miles of dust. There is no other life. That is still going on. I mean, I say that with much heart for the loggers. These are my friends, and they are people who need jobs, but the woods are being carried away. You know. There was a nifty little cartoon in the New Yorker the other day, not the New Yorker, the New York Times the other day. It was a faller falling the last tree in a field of stumps and saying to a kind of a bookkeeper type standing next to him, "Well, that's the last one." And the bookkeeper saying, "You're fired." And the title of the cartoon was Jobs or Environment. That about says it. Quote, "One should not talk to a skilled hunter about what is forbidden by the Buddha." The Zen master, Chinese Zen master, 8th century AD, Xiangyan said that. One should not talk to a skilled hunter about what is forbidden by the Buddha. I picked up a fox on the road, a roadkill, a gray fox, and as is my wont, paid a great deal of attention to her and saved the pelt. So here it is. A gray fox, female, 9 pounds 3 ounces, 39 5/8 inches long with tail. Peeling the skin back, Kai reminded us to chant the Shingyo first. Cold pelt, crinkle, and musky smell mixed with the dead body odor starting. Stomach content, a whole ground squirrel, well chewed, plus 1 lizard foot. And somewhere from inside the ground squirrel, a bit of aluminum foil. the secret, and the secret hidden deep in that. Magpie's Song. Traveling east on Interstate 80 on my way to Utah, throwing my sleeping bag down and sleeping half the night by the side of the highway somewhere east of Elko, waking in the morning to receive this song from a magpie. Magpie's Song. 6 a.m. Sat down on excavation gravel by juniper and desert Southern Pacific tracks. Interstate 80 not far off. Between trucks, coyotes, maybe 3, howling and yapping from a rise. Then a magpie flew down to a bough, tipped her head and looked at me and said, "Here in the mind, brother, turquoise blue, I wouldn't fool you. Smell the breeze, it came through all the trees. No need to fear what's ahead. Snow up on the hills west, we'll be there every year. Be at rest, a feather on the ground, the wind sound. Here in the mind, brother, turquoise blue." And the magpie flew off. True story. Thank you. Little poem called Virgin. A virgin forest is ancient, many-breasted, stable at climax. A little lesson in ecology in that. A virgin forest is old and foxy. Not so well named. As for poets, the earth poets who write small poems need help from no one. The air poets play out the swiftest gales and sometimes loll in the eddies, poem after poem, curling back on the same thrust. At 50 below, fuel oil won't flow and propane stays in the tank. A fire poet burns at absolute zero. Fossil love bumped back up. The first water poet stayed down 6 years. She was covered with seaweed. The life in her poem left millions of tiny, different tracks crisscrossing in the mud. With the sun and the moon in his belly, the space poet sleeps. No end sky, but his poems, like wild geese, fly off the edge. A mind poet stays in the house. The house is empty and it has no walls. The poem is seen from all sides, everywhere, at once. That's 6 elements, you may notice. The Chinese have always had those 5 material elements that we've had in Occidental proto-scientific element theory, but added to it, and the Buddhists did too, a 6th element, which is the element of mind or consciousness, as an element in the physical universe.